So, this is a playbook that's been used for ages. And I know it because I've seen it firsthand. Well, let me correct myself. I haven't seen it firsthand, but I've seen it play out secondhand. And I've also talked a lot with the people who have been involved. And it's pretty much always the same. By the way, this is me talking about 10 plus years of experience in the game. And no, I'm going to be very, very vague. I'm just going to say, this is what I've seen in my years at various construction sites, how it's been played out, who the parties involved are, and who the beneficiaries, the real beneficiaries are of this way of doing persuasion. So, by the way, this is all hypothetical. It's totally hypothetical. It's just a made-up case. I don't have any proof. I don't have any veracity. No names will be dropped. This is just purely speculative on my part. Simply because I'm dumb. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've just experienced this secondhand, so I can't say because I haven't been there actually inside the very rooms where these things, take place. Having said that, though, here's the playbook that I've seen being used on various construction projects, and it's always the same. There's a big ass construction project going on. It might be the building of a large building, some infrastructure, maybe a road, maybe a passageway, maybe a tunnel, whatever it is. Just some big ass infrastructure project, right? There's a client who wants to build the infrastructure edifice or thing in question. There's a contract, and there's the contractor. The workers, the guys doing the work. It's kind of like if you want to build a house, well then you're the client, you write a contract, and you agree with a contractor, the builders, the carpenters, the plumbers, electricians, etc., the bricklayers, about this is the total cost of the project, this is what you're going to do, and this is how my home is going to look like, right? You can extrapolate that line of thought. Well, it's way more complex, of course, when it comes to details and particulars. But that's essentially how the construction projects work. So with that being said, hypothetically, speculatively, all of the construction projects are big, they're expensive, they have loosely defined terms, the contracts are vague, there's a lot of loopholes. I mean, look, we're talking about documents with thousands of pages. You think anybody has a time to double check every single paragraph in such a big contract? Of course not. There's hypothetically, speculatively, there's always going to be loopholes. There's always going to be something that somebody forgot to check. It's human nature. And so, with that in mind, there's a few savvy people who may or may not take advantage of those loopholes on the contractor side. So they go in, they start building, things get delayed, things get pushed back even more, problems start occurring, the client and the contractor start blaming each other, they start pointing the finger at each other, they threaten to go to courts, they threaten with lawsuits. Sometimes these lawsuits actually go to court. And that's a very, very expensive affair, of course, because, court cases are expensive. Lawyers' fees, etc., etc. But sometimes they enter into mediation, negotiations. And here is the shrewd way of doing this. Let's say that you're some sort of a mediator, some sort of a solicitor or lawyer, whatever. Your job is to mediate and negotiate between the parties. And when you have loosely defined terms, what do you hypothetically do? Well, I mean, I'm going to tell you what I hypothetically would have done if I were such a lawyer. I'd just drag things out. I'd just write a bunch of gobbledygook, in for pages and pages and pages, and then I just drag things out whilst collecting my paychecks. And that may or may not be what's happening. Again, purely speculative on my part, just a hypothetical case. Haven't been there, seen it, but I've seen human reactions, and I've seen human nature. And I've used my brain a little bit. Now, what's the point of all this? The point of all this is not me trying to do some journalistic dig work or write up a piece. The point of all this is just to show you that if you want to persuade somebody to buy your services, you need to show them a solution. But you can also drag that solution out in time, right? You can tease the carrot in front of somebody and just slowly drag the solution ahead of them and ahead of them and ahead of them and ahead of them whilst profiting off of it. Think about it. It's a pretty smart case. I'm not saying that you should do it, by all means. I'm not saying that it's ethical. I'm not even sure it's legal. I'm just saying speculatively, hypothetically, that may or may not be what's happening. So, with that in mind, persuasion works well when you have people who are desperate for a solution. And it works even better if you can drag people after your solution and your proposed way of ending things. Think about that. If you want to learn more about persuasion, then get subscribed to my email list. The link to do so is in the episode description wherever you're watching or listening to this. And I'll see you there.